department-related questions during this time. In addition, check out our graduate website at www.brockport.edu/graduate for more detailed information. Okay, let's get started. Good morning, Mr. Snyder. We have a question from the audience.
Good morning.
What is the academic emphasis or emphases of your program, and what does it prepare students to do?
We have two concentrations in the MSW program. We have a concentration in family and community, which works out in community areas as far as like schools, corrections. Then we also have an interdisciplinary health concentration, which actually deals with mental health, hospitals, and anything along the health track.
Thank you. What is your program's accreditation, and why is it important to study a nationally accredited graduate program in your field?
We are an accredited program through the Council of Social Work Education. We have been accredited since 2002. It is best, we're accredited as a program through them because it is the best way for a social work program to, I'm sorry, I just kind of stumbled over my words there a little bit. I apologize. We are accredited through them because actually that's the best way for New York State licensure. You have to be accredited through a CSWE program. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, and what academic and/or work experience do prospective students need for your program?
We have two different programs. We have a 60-credit program, which you need a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution in any discipline. We also have a 36-credit advanced standing program, which you would need a BSW from an accredited program, a CSWE accredited program within the last 8 years. As far as work experience, of course, any work experience helps. A lot of people that are actually going into the 60-credit program don't necessarily have a social work background. So I always suggest people, if they're going to look at that program during my information sessions, to start looking at volunteering or doing things that would actually help you get out into a social service atmosphere.
Okay, and I have a question regarding the application process.
Mm-hmm.
What can prospective students do to strengthen their applications, and what should they avoid in those applications?
As far as the application process, the 2 writing samples are a huge part of that process. As I always instruct people during the information sessions, to put your best foot forward as far as your writing. Make sure that it is graduate level writing. Make sure that it has been proofread. Make sure that you are answering the questions that are given to you in the application process. There's, I think, 5 points for one and 4 points for the other. As I always suggest to people, that is the best way to get your point across as far as looking at social work, why you want to be a social worker, what you're going to do with it when you finally get your MSW. I'm sorry, what was the second part of the question?
What should they avoid in the application?
Ah, good one. Actually, when we have this where people are explaining why they want to become a social worker. So it might have been something that was very traumatic, or it might have been something that's very highlighted in their lives. What tends to happen a lot of times is if they're writing these writing statements and they're explaining this is what has happened to them, I was told not to allow what brought them to social work to become the paper. Explain it, talk about it, say this is how it changed your life, and then move on to the rest of the writing sample. That's one of my best, because if the problem or if the triumph becomes too much of the writing sample, then it becomes too, it actually over-dictates what you're trying to accomplish as a social worker.
Great, that sounds like good advice. When should applicants ask for letters of recommendation, and what should those letters include?
Letters of recommendation, always academic are best, of course. But, sometimes, and especially in the 60-credit program, it's usually non-traditional students returning back. So that, could be a little bit of a challenge for them. So I say for the 60-credit program, unless you're just recently graduated within a couple years, that you should get professional letters of recommendation from managers, supervisors, or if you actually, I would say coworkers, if you have worked like on a project with them for a long period of time. If you volunteered for a long period of time in a certain agency or in an organization, that's always another benefit. Try to stay clear of personal references, friend references, co-workers, just as colleagues, as to, Susie sits next to me, she'll write me a letter. We don't really want that. That's more of a personal reference. As far as there's a recommendation form that's to accompany the letter. There's 13 categories there. I say to people, look at that. Whoever can answer those 13 categories for you best is your best recommender. It should just be a one-page narrative, basically giving kudos to you as being a graduate student, a good worker, and that you will be able to do graduate level work.
Great. I have a question regarding the graduate education experience. What is the educational experience for students in your program? I guess we could look at that with maybe classroom experience or
as far as
academic
classrooms,
relationship with faculty.
classroom size, generally our classroom size at about 15 to 20 students. Faculty are very interwoven with the educational experience. We have 6 full-time faculty, 3 from Nazareth, 3 from Brockport. We are housed at 55 St. Paul Street down at the Metro Center, and all the classes are basically held down there. Our faculty offices are right there. Faculty are very accessible to the students. Doors are always wide open. Students walk in and out freely within our office space. The faculty are very engaged in the community along with their students. Like currently right now, our Advanced Standing Seminar is working with faculty out in the community in the 10th Ward of Rochester doing hands-on assessment. So this is a program they just started last year, and they've changed it a little bit more this year. So it's actually making the students more engaged in the community that they're actually learning in.
Great, thank you. Can you give us an idea of what are the academic specialties of your faculty and what opportunities do graduate students have to work directly with those faculty?
Oh, we have, our faculty are very involved with sexual health. Dr. Beth Russell that is basically her. She teaches 2 courses in sexual health. We have, as far as being out in the community, as women's health, child welfare, anti-violence with youth, poverty, and we actually always every year run a couple different projects as far as working with, especially with poverty. With coat collection, as far as also with children, as far as a toy collection, food drives, Habitat for Humanity we've been involved with as far as helping to build homes, and we just do various things out in the community. That's one of the reasons the program was created and placed in downtown Rochester, is because of the agencies that surround us.
Thank you. How does your program prepare students for professional employment and/or PhD study?
We are very engaged with students as being developing professionally. That is one of our goals because it is a professional program. So we actually encourage students to do independent studies as far as doing research on their own if they care to. I have a student actually that she's going to be doing one over the course of the next 2 semesters in the fall and the spring. We also have the College of Brockport Scholarly Conference that we do every year. It's kind of in their senior year. That's part of their final project is to present at that conference. And then we actually, the following week, they present at the Metro Center, presenting their final research project in our Master's Symposium. We have done international social work study abroad. As far as this past January, they were in India for 14 days. 2 years prior to that, they were in India for 10 days. And in 2009, they were in Russia for a 7-day social work conference. And this is also to show students as to other areas of social work in the world.
Great, that sounds like some wonderful opportunities for students. What are some specific examples of the varied careers your graduates have pursued, and how did your program prepare those specific students for those careers?
Our graduates tend to go into many different areas of social work. They are in, mental health and healthcare systems. They are in corrections, rehabilitation, clinical settings, group settings, community outreach. Social work covers a variety of areas that people kind of tend to plug themselves into. And as far as getting them prepared, we just got our New York State first-time pass rate for licensure for 2012, and we had a 93% pass rate. We tied with Columbia University. Out of the 17 schools in New York State, we were tied with Columbia University for a 93.7 first-time pass rate. So we're doing something very well in getting people prepared for that licensure exam, which can be very difficult.
That's terrific. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about the master's program?
I think this master's program is unique in its nature because it is a collaborative between a public college and a private college. It's the only one of its kind in the country. It is very split down the middle as both schools take a responsibility. As part of this program, you are students of both colleges, so you have the resources of both colleges. It is a flat rate of $672 for tuition per credit hour. That is in-state and out-of-state rate. That includes all fees. As far as working with the faculty are very engaged in the community. They are very engaged with their students. It is something that they're very proud to be as far as in this program. We are now currently taking applications for an extension site in Watertown that will be at the Jefferson Community College, almost right in downtown Watertown. Actually, I was just up there the other day doing a news segment for them. We are looking right now currently for an advanced standing program for the 36 credit program for people that are interested in interdisciplinary health. Applications will be accepted until July 1st and then possibly rolling after that with a startup of August 26th. Then in the following year, 2014, we will be starting a part-time 60 credit program for people that have a degree outside of social work. This is very exciting for us because we are looking. It's a nice way to bring something up to the northern country because they don't have any other alternatives as far as an MSW program except for Syracuse University, which is about an hour and a half south of them. So it's a great opportunity for the people up in Watertown and the surrounding areas, especially people that do not have an opportunity to get a master's degree locally.
Great. Well, thank you for all that information today, Mr. Snyder. We appreciate it.
Thank you.